Taoiseach, can I remind you that at the time when you were signing off on secret payouts to people who had been forced to pay fees, nursing home fees that they shouldn't have had to pay, to contain potential cases being taken by other people who were entitled to refunds, ordinary people in this country were being absolutely crucified by the government you were a part of to pay off bondholders. And yet you say you don't remember who briefed you, what the briefing was. Now, I put it to you, Taoiseach, that you owe it to the people of this country to find out what you knew, when you were signing off, and other ministers, and that any statements on this require you, Taoiseach, and anybody else who was involved in signing off these secret payouts are made on a condition of secrecy, so that people entitled to other repayments wouldn't be aware of them. Will you commit, and the other ministers who were involved in this, to come in yourselves and clarify what you knew and when you knew it?
The agreement with the Business Committee, and I think quite sensibly, is that we would have statements next week. This goes back to the 1970s. I think it's important that people should know the facts before they make statements. Nobody wants to come in here and make a statement and then find out that something that they've said is incorrect, and that can happen because when things happen 6 or 8 or 10 years ago, that does happen. And you know, I like some of the people who are laughing at me, Count Corler, people had to change their own declarations on multiple occasions. So you know, it's a little bit much. So ministers do want some time to look at documents, check the records, before making statements. I'm here twice a week, happy to answer any questions that you want to put to me, Deputy, and I think the Joint Oireachtas Committee on Health is going to want to look into this too. If your inference is that I signed off on any individual payments or was involved in any individual cases, that's not the case, and no minister would have been. That's just simply not true, Deputy. In relation to Deputy English, Deputy English has resigned as Minister. Anything to do with planning enforcement law, as I've said, is a matter for Meath County Council, and the internal procedures that we have in our party are confidential, and our internal matters, just as yours are, Deputy. And I know there are disciplinary matters underway in the Labour Party at the moment, and I wouldn't be asking you in the Dáil questions about those. Finally, just in relation to Deputy Tobin's question on excess debts, I am aware that in Ireland and in a lot of countries there has been a significant increase in excess debts this winter, even more so than was the case during the pandemic, or at least during the lockdowns. That is a matter of concern. I am going to seek the advice and the opinion of the CMO on it. It probably relates to the fact that we have RSV, influenza and COVID all circulating at the moment against the backdrop of reduced immunity because people were socially distancing during the lockdowns, and also because there was a lot of unmet health need during the lockdowns, which is now coming back at us. But that's just my impression, and I agree that it needs some further consideration, and I will ask the CMO for her view on it.